Hello everyone, today we're talking about one of the most dramatic and instantly recognizable supercars ever created. A machine that looks less like a normal car and more like something designed for a movie or a video game. This is the story of the Lamborghini Aventador. Back when Lamborghini revealed the Aventador, the automotive world immediately realized this was not an ordinary replacement for the Murcielago. The company wanted to create a car that felt extreme, emotional, and unforgettable in every possible way. And the result looked like a fighter jet transformed into a road-legal machine. Unlike many supercars that focus mainly on elegance, the Aventador was built around aggression and presence. Every angle, every sharp body line, and every air intake looked violent and futuristic at the same time. Even standing still, the car looked like it was already moving at full speed. At the center of the Aventador sat a naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 engine. An engine that represented old-school Lamborghini philosophy before turbochargers and hybrid systems took over the industry. Raw, loud, emotional, and completely unpredictable under acceleration. The moment the engine started, the Aventador announced itself in a way very few cars ever could. The sound was not smooth or quiet because it was designed to feel dramatic, mechanical, and alive. It created the kind of experience that people remembered long after hearing it once. But the Aventador was never only about sound, because its entire personality felt theatrical. The scissor doors, the low driving position, and the massive rear design made every moment feel cinematic. Getting inside the car felt less like entering a vehicle and more like entering a machine from the future. Lamborghini engineers designed the Aventador to feel intimidating both visually and emotionally on the road. It was wide, low, aggressive, and impossible to ignore in traffic or on city streets. Even people who knew nothing about cars instantly recognized it as something special. Unlike lightweight, driver-focused sports cars, the Aventador delivered power with pure brutality. Acceleration felt explosive, violent, and endless, especially at higher speeds where the V12 came fully alive. The car did not try to feel calm or controlled because chaos was part of its identity. And strangely, that aggressive personality became one of the biggest reasons enthusiasts loved the Aventador so much. It felt imperfect, emotional, and mechanical in a world where many modern supercars started feeling too digital. The Aventador reminded people that supercars were supposed to feel exciting and slightly insane. The design of the Aventador also became one of the most iconic shapes of the modern automotive era. Sharp lines, massive vents, and futuristic proportions made it look completely different from normal luxury cars. Even years after release, it still manages to look futuristic beside newer vehicles. At night, the Aventador looked even more unreal with its aggressive LED lighting and low silhouette. It almost looked like a machine built for science fiction rather than public roads. And that futuristic appearance helped make it one of the most photographed supercars in the world. Social media, internet culture, and automotive content pushed the Aventador into global superstar status. For many people, it became the definition of what a dream car should look and sound like. Loud, dramatic, expensive, and impossible to forget once you see it in person. The Aventador also became extremely popular among celebrities, athletes, and car collectors around the world. But despite its luxury image, the car still carried the wild personality Lamborghini was famous for. It never tried to behave politely because that was never its purpose. What made the Aventador different from many rivals was the emotion it delivered behind the wheel. Some supercars impressed people with precision or technology, while the Aventador impressed people with pure drama. Everything about the experience felt exaggerated, intense, and larger than life. Even the smallest details inside the cabin reflected Lamborghini's fighter jet inspiration and aggressive philosophy. Button switches and driving controls looked mechanical, futuristic, and almost military-inspired. Nothing inside the car felt soft, ordinary, or boring. Over time, the Aventador became more than just another expensive supercar for wealthy owners. It became a symbol of modern Lamborghini design and the final era of naturally aspirated V12 madness. A machine built during a time when emotion mattered more than efficiency. As automotive companies slowly moved toward hybrid systems, electric technology, and quieter performance cars, the Aventador continued representing raw combustion engine power without compromise or artificial feeling. And that made enthusiasts respect it even more with every passing year. Today, the Lamborghini Aventador remains one of the most iconic supercars of the modern generation. Not because it was the most practical, comfortable, or technologically advanced machine on the road, but because it delivered something many modern cars slowly started losing: pure emotion and presence. It proved that sometimes the cars people remember forever are not the quietest or smartest machines. Sometimes the unforgettable ones are the loud, aggressive, and emotionally overwhelming creations instead. And the Aventador became one of the greatest examples of that philosophy ever built. The moment an Aventador enters the road, the entire atmosphere around it instantly changes. People stop conversations, turn their heads, and pull out their phones just to capture a glimpse of it. Very few cars in history have ever carried that level of presence and attention naturally. It does not matter whether the car is parked standing still or accelerating through the streets at night. The Aventador creates an energy that feels dramatic, powerful, and impossible to ignore from any angle. And that emotional impact is what separates it from ordinary supercars around the world. Even among exotic cars, the Aventador still manages to dominate attention effortlessly. Not because it tries too hard, but because its design already looks like something beyond reality. It feels like a machine created without limits, imagination, or fear of being too extreme. And maybe that is the real reason people became obsessed with the Aventador over the years. It represented a type of automotive madness that modern cars are slowly beginning to lose. Pure, loud, emotional, and unapologetically aggressive in every possible way. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icon for more legendary machine stories. Because there's always another iconic car waiting to be uncovered in the next video. See you next time.